The other day, I get an email about this guy working with a team in Oakland to build a product that wants to change the conversation on world hunger. The best part of it all is that I've known this guy for a number of years. How did he go from that guy that I used to know to working on this kind of a project? The email says, looking to grab a bite and talk a little about my product. I asked him what is he looking to accomplish in the end with all of this. He says, it's simply to put a food growing box into as many people's homes as possible. Hey Kev.
What's going on? How you doing?
Good. How have you been?
I'm doing pretty good. I think I feel blessed out here, you know?
It's been a while. It's good catching up.
Yeah, I ran into your friend Armando. You know his crazy stuff, right?
I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, he's still doing what he does, but he said he gave me some good advice. He said he's doing a lot of stuff in the YouTube, a lot of stuff in the community, and I should reach out to you to do an interview, you know?
Yeah, I've been busy doing that.
Yeah, be kind of like a personality out here, right?
I'm working on it.
So he thought it would be a good idea. You know, he always has those good ideas. He was telling me that I should reach out to you to set up like an interview.
Oh, cool, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to know exactly what all that was about.
Well, my company, Food4All, we designed basically a computer-controlled food growing box to grow food for people in countries like Nigeria and Senegal.
Okay.
And it grows like fish and vegetables. And the best part about it, it's small enough to fit in somebody's home. And it requires little to no upkeep. It's like autonomous, hands off.
You said computer control.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Oh, okay. Your car, right? Your car has a computer in it, right? Your phone. So think about, we use computers to enhance how we live our lives, right? Mm-hmm. To control things, to be more precise, to be more efficient. So this product, take that concept and we want to empower people direct access to their food, right? So this computer controls the whole ecosystem. It keeps it healthy and it monitors the ecosystem. So it's like when it gets out of whack, it adjusts itself to maintain the health of the system.
So it controls the watering, the lighting, the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
It actually feeds the fish.
Everything, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
In my research, there are governments and companies spending billions of dollars trying to solve this problem. Not to mention people turning to cricket flour, meat alternatives, vertical farming, and a long list of people growing fish and vegetables together. Could he be completely unaware of all of this? Could the answer be as simple as just a box that grows food? Well, this is why I'm here, to find out more and investigate. Could this Food for All product really be the solution that many people are waiting for? You're eating fish at a burger place?
Yeah, so what?
It's like going to Taco Bell and just getting fries.
Well, first of all, you can get fries at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's called not your fries. It's not your fries, okay?
I've done that before.
Right?
Why are you so against meat? You don't eat burgers at all?
It's not a question of what's wrong with beef. It's just not the most sustainable option. It takes basically 12 pounds of grain to grow 1 pound of beef. That just can't work, right?
Okay, so what would that be for fish? How many grains would it take for fish?
So fish, you're looking at about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. So that's right there. You're gonna feed a lot more people. So it's like feeding the difference between feeding one family with 12 pounds of grain, or as many as 6 to 9 families.
I can't eat fish every day.
You don't have to. It's a lot of different options out here in the market for people, alternative meats. People are doing cricket flour. It's a lot of ways to become sustainable.
So earlier, I heard you say developing world.
Yeah.
I hear that term a lot. I'm Ethiopian. Is Ethiopia part of the developing world?
Oh, wow. I didn't know your family's from Ethiopia. That's wonderful.
Yes.
So when we say developing world, so it basically means a country that's still basically gets most of their money from selling like raw materials and unprocessed goods. When you think of developed countries, you're thinking about everything from high-end services. You're thinking of computers, laptops, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Phones. So that's pretty much a difference. Countries that still sell most unfinished raw materials. That's what we consider developing world. It's not the best terms, But it's a term that everybody pretty much knows.
So instead of like going to the grocery stores or just going to a market, why do people need to grow it in their homes?
So, okay, I know here, right? I don't know if you heard of Instacart, right? It's pretty much a cool app that allows people, you order something and allows people to bring you food, right?
Right.
But that's not a realistic option for a lot of people. They don't have the access. So you're looking at huge countries with poor infrastructure, and that market's not developed to that point yet. So our product, we're like, and in addition to that, you're looking at 30 to 50% of the waste for food goes into these elaborate transportation systems. Basically, we got food from one part of the world to the next, and we're shipping it, we're refrigerating, we're packaging it. That just wastes so much resources. Our product cuts that out and want to deliver the food directly in people's homes, essentially putting farms into homes.
Right. Aren't there already a lot of fish growing systems, and what makes yours different?
Yeah, we love that the market is opening up, and we are watching a lot of these different companies, and most of them are pretty much two large areas, right? So you have like these cool converted shipping containers, right? Mm-hmm. And they would convert these things to grow like vegetables and fish. The issue with them, they're pretty big. They're 40 by 10 feet. They're about over $100,000. And then you haven't even equipped it with seeds or anything else.
Right.
So they're out of their price range for most of the markets that we serve. They're large and just too much power and resources to manage.
Right.
Then you have the other end of the stick. You have, I love this, we follow this religiously at our company. Like in Northeast and the Midwest, they're converting garages and everything from warehouses to abandoned factories to these aquatic centers, right, where they're growing fish. And we think that's part of the solution for these places. Mm-hmm. But for our model, for our market, it's just not a reality. It takes too much resources. It's just not feasible for our market. And we want to, instead of trying to be the provider, like sell people the fish, we want to provide the people directly the source to produce their own.
So you mentioned that you have a distributed team, but what does that mean exactly? Also, you operate out of this co-working space. Can you tell me what are some of the reasons that you chose this place and how you found out about this place?
Okay. So yeah, a distributed team, which means that we have people all over the world. So any given moment of the day, if somebody is working full-time on a project. We have people working in the Middle East, we have people working on a project in Africa, other parts of the United States. So that's what we mean by distributed team. We have people everywhere trying to make it happen.
So how does having a space help?
Okay, so I'd say, so are you asking me like, if I have a distributed team, why do I need a physical space to work out?
Yeah, if you have a distributed team, why do you need a physical workspace?
Okay, so a couple things about having a real space is that if I need to meet with somebody, there's conference rooms, there's a movie theater to demo products, there's other people I can collaborate with that's not part of my company. That's the biggest thing. Right. If we're just in a bubble in a distributed team, then we don't see other visions of things. But here, I get to work with other people. I get to collaborate. Like here, if I need something like T-shirts for the company, or a solution I'm working on that I need help with, I have somebody to turn to. Right. For example, I work with, she's here today. I'll go get her, Lena. She runs this part of the space, and she can tell you about what she does here. Okay. That's cool.
Hi, thank you guys. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So my name is Lena. I am the creative manager of the Port Workspaces. My background is in textile design, screen printing. I worked as a teacher at college for 10 years before starting here 9 months ago. So what I'm setting up is a screen printing and merchandising area here at the Port Workspaces. We're going to be able to do stuff like this. These are screen printed pieces of fabric. You use a silk screen like this, ink, squeegee, and you can create anything you like. These particular items are going to be for pillows that we're going to put around the building with our logo. We can provide this service for all the companies here if they want to create, t-shirts with their logos, tote bags, Christmas cards, like any sort of promotional material. We can do small scale custom production here. We can also do fun things in collaboration with the makerspace upstairs with Sal and company. Like this, for example, these are going to be earrings.
Oh, cool.
Laser cut, using our laser cutter up there. You can, it's endless possibilities. We have this space here, and we can combine it with the makerspace, and we can, any ideas you have as a member or customer, we can make it happen.
So whose idea was to design these?
Mine.
It was your idea to go up there and collab with them?
Yes, it's like that's what I do. I'm a creative type person, but I also love to set up beautiful spaces. So I think this is sort of like an ideal situation for me and the port in combination, where I can set up, a functional, practical space to sell things and produce things, but also, I can design items as well. And we can not just have members request orders from us for things that they want, but we can also have members that are makers and creators do their own items and sell them here and make a profit from it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
The Port Workspaces is the largest independent co-working provider in the Bay Area, and has a beautiful building here and a huge co-working community that we're part of. And we're servicing the needs of people who are designing and fabricating things, primarily small business people, freelancers, small teams. That's really our sweet spot. We're building a community here of people who are working in commercial space around this intersection of technology and materials and ideas and objects.
So Kevin also mentioned that you collaborate with other spaces all over the world. What exactly is that process like?
Well, we're a Fab Lab, and a Fab Lab is a particular sort of makerspace. It sprang from a program at MIT that started right around the early 2000s. And it was built to support a curriculum called How to Make Almost Anything. And the idea was that you could come into a Fab Lab and with the machines and the curriculum and the particular teaching ability there and an idea, without any necessary prior knowledge about how to design and fabricate a thing, you could design and fabricate a thing while you were in that class. So that curriculum got to a point where it was working really well, and other people started to notice and said, "Oh, we want to make another Fab Lab somewhere else." And they first started to appear in other universities around the world, but now they're in public libraries, they're in middle schools, they're at disaster sites, they're in museums, and they're serving different functions for different communities. And this particular Fab Lab is really about commercialization, the space between I have a great idea and I need to get it to market. Which is a super risky time for businesses. But we're connected to this web of resources, 2,000 sites around the world, growing really quickly, hundreds of thousands of smart people working together on big problems. And we're plugged into that community and working on some of those problems with that global team. Here, as I already said, we're really targeting a user base and community of business people, of emerging business people, people who are working on an idea, developing it, taking risks. And one of the things that we particularly are doing is helping people lower their business risk by time sharing, by sharing resources, by having people volunteer their time in exchange for access and helping other people in the membership community. I'm an entrepreneur, and our members are my people. I know what it's like to be out on a limb, taking a lot of risk, and not having a lot to put into the problem until it starts to get legs. And we get very creative with our members to try and meet them where they are and help them with their project in whatever way we can. And sometimes that's making their space a particular way, and sometimes it's helping them through a complicated problem as a consulting service. Or just giving them informal advice, or connecting them with a mentor, or with an organization that might be able to help them develop their plans or get financing or whatever. It's about ideas to objects, it's about ideas to market, it's about commercialization, it's about people doing business with each other, forming strong partnerships. As an entrepreneur, you need peers, you need mentors, you need great advice, and it's very difficult to get it, because when you get it from somebody who doesn't see the world the same way that you do, it's often not the advice that you need.
Ain't a lot of time, and she fine, she a dime, not a thought. Boy, she say a line in a lot, where them bitches who was talking on the set, when we see them throwing rocks. Open up the doors, no keys, smell the crib, shit feeling like Febreze. It's Safari for a week, gassed up with my shawty, she a geek. Lions, we flying with.
This has been informative, and it challenged many of my preconceived notions of how I thought about sustainability and the conversation about food. I always sat around thinking these problems would be magically fixed. Could it be that simple? Maybe this is what we've been waiting for. Could the idea of a global community of active participants solve this problem? I've known this guy for years, and he's always been a little out there. But could he really be the guy to bring about this change? Kevin doesn't claim to have the trillion-dollar solution to solve world hunger. He only claims that he wants to put as many food-growing boxes in as many homes as possible. Why him? Is he alone? Who is he working with to try and make this a reality? So where did this idea come from? Did you just randomly run into a fish?
No, not too many, not in San Francisco. Basically, me and my two co-founders, we started this developer group, right? And it's let's do a developer group, not about making stuff light up. Let's do a developer group about something that's real, that affects people day-to-day lives, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how we got started.
That sounds cool, but why you guys? How many of you guys are there, by the way?
Well, we started out with 3. Now we got we're gonna have 12. So it's
wow.
The fish mania is spreading,
So all of you guys are fish guys, and where do you even learn how to do all this stuff?
Well, I wouldn't say fish guy.
Fish on the brain all the time?
Fish on the brain, definitely that. We do have we call him Aquaman. We got this guy, he's the fish guy among fish guys, right? But we all work together, and we all have this mission to solve this problem, address it at least, right? Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if you learn it, maybe you're born a certain way and it just guides you, a little, tick in your head that goes off. And you learn, and this is something you want to do, looking at the world maybe I can solve it, but solve it with fish, right?
So what makes you guys so confident? What makes your team the team to pull this off?
I think 2 big reasons. Number one, it's we represent the populations that the target that we serve, right? For instance, we have people from all over the world on our team. So when we say FOOD4All Global, we really mean we have a global team to solve a global problem. And number 2, we just got all the good combinations. We got 15 years of experience dealing with aquatics. We got 25 years of dealing with circuit boards and electronics, and software systems. We just put it all together. That's all we're doing. We already have the pieces. We can put it all together, and I think that's what makes us really unique.
Teamwork.
Yeah, having the right people with the right skills.
Mm-hmm. All the racks, now you steady coming back. Quarters, man, we blowing by the sack. Work first, and I chill, then I stack.
Today I got a chance to get to know about FOOD4All. I hear about all these issues that our world is facing, but I know we can't solve them all. However, if we don't do anything, nothing will change. Kevin makes it seem so simple, and it makes sense. He challenged the rationale of shipping food from one part of the world to the next, and went beyond locally grown to indoor systems that can be placed into people's homes. I have learned so much about sustainability and the issues that we face as a world. I have also been inspired to make small measurable impacts in the world and not wait to be saved by some perfect solution. Our habits and choices affect so many countless people, but we will never see or hear the effects. So your product is for those in a developing world, so how can we help from here?
Well, there's two ways to help our efforts. Number one, follow our journey, be a part of it. FOOD4All Global, with a space in between. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and be part of our journey, be an advocate. Number two, find the different ways where research this that you can make little steps in changing the world, like lower your carbon footprint, make a less of a, negative impact on the environment. So I got a question for you, Miss Interviewer.
Okay.
So tell me, your own words, what FOOD4All is and what we're trying to accomplish.
So, to my understanding, FOOD4All is bringing farms into homes. And by doing that, maybe, just maybe, we can change the conversation on global hunger.